Hello, Marcus Lim here with the Absolute Edition of Batman Year One. Absolute Edition, so this is the extra overlarge, like the oversized edition of Batman Year One. And the first thing I want to say is that Absolute Editions tend to be quite pricey, but given that this is Batman Year One, widely considered as one of the greatest and most important Batman stories ever told, next to The Dark Knight Returns, I figure that it is worth having the absolute treatment. So, I also have in my collection the Absolute Dark Knight, which is the absolute edition of The Dark Knight Returns, which is the other Batman story that I feel deserves the absolute treatment for sure. And so this is actually, you can see, it's actually two volumes. So two hardcover volumes of the same story. And if we look at the back, maybe it's a little bit too small, but what it says here is that it offers two distinct versions of the legendary story. Book 1 features the acclaimed single-volume novel edition with pages rescanned from the original boards, while Book 2 features never-before-collected process color edition of the original Newsprint comics. So, two different versions. So let's have a look at these two different versions. So I will just unwrap this very quickly. Okay, so we've got a nice slip case, as is the case with all the Absolute editions that DC has published. And so let me leave that aside for now. And so here we have both volumes, and this would be Book 1. Yes, this is Book 1. Let me show you the entire wraparound cover of Batman. So Book 1, as the description says, it contains all 4 issues of Batman Year One, but remastered. Okay, recolored, remastered, and you can see that the colors really pop, and they really showcase. It really gives the artist David, what's his name? His name always escapes me. David Mazzucchelli really gives his art space to breathe with the oversized pages. Now at the end, I think there's some extras as well. Let me see. Yeah, afterwards. Okay, it's just an afterwards. And also some extra material as well. Okay, so this is Book 1, and I would say that in many ways it's really a oversized edition of the deluxe edition that's also in my collection, right? So it's pretty much the same thing. This is also the recolored, remastered edition, and you can see it's also got some extras at the back, right? But obviously, it's an oversized edition, which is cool. Now let's have a look at Book 2. So Book 2, So Book 2, as the description says, it's I guess it tries to simulate the look and feel of the old comics in the 80s, like the stock. Really simulates like the old comic look of the 80s. You can see that the colors, obviously, they look a little bit faded, but I guess that's the point. It's really trying to simulate, right? Like reading the comics as they were published back in the mid 80s. Okay. So you know, if you're the type of person who's a purist, then maybe this is the volume for you. Okay. But what's really awesome is that it looks like it contains all of the layouts, the pencil layouts, and also the complete scripts by the writer Frank Miller. So you can see the scripts with the pencil layouts. So that's definitely a treat for those of you who are huge fans of this classic Batman story from the 80s by Frank Miller and David Mazzucchelli. Okay, so that's pretty cool, these two volumes for Batman Year One. And I have to say that it truly is the best of both worlds. You've got 21st century, I guess, engineering, and also traditional mid-80s publishing. So I guess for me, like if I want to just experience the story, I would go for volume 1, but volume 2 is where you get all the cool extras. But as I said, if you are a purist and you really just want to experience Batman Year One 80s style, then I guess volume 2 would be the one for you. But in either case, if you're a Batman fan, then this is something that you probably want to get your hands on, even though it is kind of pricey. But as I said, as you know, seeing that it is Batman Year One, it's definitely worth the absolute treatment. So thanks for watching.